Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. For today's episode, I thought we'd be taking a look at 1990s Spider-Man and Toy Biz's Green Goblin. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy.
After injecting himself with an experimental serum his company was working on, Norman Osborn created in Dawn the identity of the Green Goblin. Considered to be one of Spider-Man's greatest archenemies, and due to the split personality of the Goblin serum, he's one of the most unhinged and unpredictable of the web-swinger's foes. With his chemically enhanced strength and his arsenal of Halloween-themed weapons, he's a true force to be reckoned with.
Okay, so here we have Spider-Man and Toy Biz's Green Goblin action figure. Now, if memory serves me correctly, this guy came out as either the second or third wave of action figures in the Spider-Man line, and it really shows on just how much detail they were able to put into this guy, and the overall improvements that they made since the Hobgoblin figure. He is very, very show accurate. I mean, I love that sinister, crazed look on his face and those swept up, pointy, long ears. That's something we didn't get with the Hobgoblin because of his hood. And I really like how they were able to add the fish scales on his arms and legs. Granted, they don't go all the way around, but they're just enough there and in the right spots to give that look and feel. As far as his articulation goes, these guys didn't have the articulation that we have of today's action figures, but we were happy with what we got. You would think that this hood would be just coming down right here and get in the way of his head movement, but they gave it this nice windswept look, so it makes his head able to move freely side to side. His arms can actually move up and down, and he has elbow articulation on both of them, and his legs can move up and down as well, and both of them bend at the knee. And, well, that's about it. If you notice, he doesn't actually have any action figures. I've said it before, I really hate it when they add some sort of gimmick to the character that takes away from the overall playability, but nope, he's just the plain, ordinary figure that you can kind of pose somewhat with his limited articulation, and it's something that I really like with the figures. Now, as far as his accessories go, he comes with a pumpkin bomb. If you notice that the pumpkin bomb is a lot bigger than the Hobgoblin's one. It's actually almost the size of his whole head. And because of that, it's very less likely that you're going to lose it. It functions fairly the same way. I mean, it has a little stem right here that fits into a hole on his hand. Now, it doesn't stay, well, actually I should say, it stays in there fairly snugly and you can palm it very well. However, a little bit of pulling on it will have it pop off fairly easily. He doesn't actually throw it, so you got to kind of pretend that you're actually throwing it whenever you're playing with this guy. Now, the major accessory that this guy comes with is something that all goblins should come with, which is the glider. Now, this one is a little bit more comic book accurate. You can kind of tell by the little bat shape right here on the head, which is what I like. However, I will have to give props to the Hobgoblin glider because it had a lot more paneling and detailing over here, which gave it a little bit more of a technological look. And this one's just kind of plain. So I have mixed feelings. I like both of them for different reasons. You'll probably notice these two little holes right here. Well, he came with two missiles that would fit on either one of them. And the way these work is rather than actually pulling these things back to where they lock in place and can wear the springs out, you just pull them back and let them go and they actually flick out. Now, the springs are actually quite powerful, and I did a little test of these things on the side, and yeah, I got a good 3 feet distance of those things shooting out, so they hold up very, very well. Now, you're probably asking yourself, did they improve since the Hobgoblin with how he's able to actually fit into these little panels? And the answer is yes. You'll probably notice right here that the little panels are actually molded directly in with the plastic or the upper plastic of the glider right here. So there's very little, actually pretty zero chance of these things popping off due to the glue giving out. And his legs are actually straight and fit in there fairly well. You'll probably also notice that his little booties actually kind of point up here, and they hook right under those panels very, very well and really lock them into place so that there's no friction of him being pushed out to the side. It's all that it's actually kind of just hooking up in there. And if you notice, yeah, I can actually have him holding from the side or even upside down, and he stays in position very well. The overall improvement of this guy over the Hobgoblin character is so immense, and don't get me wrong, I like the Hobgoblin character for many, many reasons, too many to actually list in this little review here. But I will have to admit that the Green Goblin is the superior figure, and I'm happy that they came out with him later. Anyways, this has been a look at Toy Biz's and Spider-Man's Green Goblin action figure.
Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.